Okay, yeah, we were very fortunate to get a win in San Antonio yesterday. Our guys hung in there, played tough, especially in the second half. San Antonio sort of dominated us first quarter especially, but we held them to 12 points. We were pretty good on our two-point defense, which helped certainly. And then we hit some passes. Garrett Gilbert, Charles Johnson, the receivers had a big day, and it worked out. And then Keith Reasoner picks off a pass on the sideline in the fourth quarter to put us ahead, and we make the two-point play and make a super fourth down defense down there on the 3-yard line. And then fortunately we started running the ball. I think we had about 12 or 14 yards the whole game, and then rushed for about 50 and killed the last 3 minutes or so of the game. So it was a good win for us. We didn't play our best in a lot of areas, but we played well enough to win the game. Elliot Frey, 3 for 3 on field goals, was a huge factor in us winning the game also. So we're looking forward to playing Memphis this week and trying to play a little bit better than we did in San Antonio.
Coach, can you give us an update on Ryan Davis?
Yeah, Ryan Davis' injury was not near as severe as it appeared at the time. I think he had some numbness in his arms and so forth, but he was moving his hands and feet when they carted him off, and he actually flew back with us last night. So when he got on the plane, the whole team, we gave him pretty much a standing ovation, and he's got a neck brace on right now, but he's expected to fully recover. How long, I'm not sure, but he's walking around and doing okay right now.
You mentioned Charles Johnson. He had a huge night last night. What does he specifically do for your offense?
Charles is an excellent receiver and super hands. And he knows how to run routes, and Garrett threw him some beautiful passes. And 192 yards on 7 catches. I don't know if I've ever had a receiver quite like that. I've had some good ones certainly over the years. So that was a fantastic game. And the other receivers were pretty doggone good too. Chris Thompson caught 2 passes for 70 yards. So his average was 35 a catch. And, of course, Jalen Marshall caught several big passes also. So we gained a lot of yards passing. We need to run the ball better. We need to play better in the red zone. We screwed up a couple of scoring chances and had to kick field goals down there. So we got a lot of improving to do before we play Memphis this Saturday night. I think it's a 8 or 8:30 game here at the Spectrum at UCF. So I think we'll have us a good crowd out there, and hopefully we can play a little bit better for the home folks this Saturday night.
You mentioned things didn't go so great in the first half, first quarter really. What does it say about the character of this team that they were tested and had to come from behind last night?
Yeah, it was interesting. Well, we knew we were going to play the whole game, but gosh, we're 3 and out the first quarter, and we had 6 plays, and I think 4 yards in the first quarter. And then we hit some deep balls. We had to loosen them up, and once we hit a few deep balls, we stayed out there and never punted the rest of the game. So how do you figure that? I don't know, but we need to get off to a better start. We're 0 for in our first drive of the games, but we're still going to take the ball. I believe in taking it and going and see what you can do. So maybe we can do a little bit better this week. We can't do much worse.
With San Antonio being vulnerable to the deep ball, was that something you saw on the video earlier?
Yeah, we did. They watch back. They watch the pattern. They watch the quarterback. They play zone or man-to-man with their eyes, really watching the quarterback a bit. So we thought maybe we could sneak up on them and run past them, which our guys can really run and go. And Garrett threw some beautiful long passes. You know, it's one thing to get it open on that long pass, but the ball's got to be there at the right time. So he threw some really, really nice ones, and that's what opened up our offense, was hitting some deep passes.
You mentioned Elliot Frey, 5 for 5 this season so far. You coached him in college in South Carolina. Having that history, that rapport with him, what does that do for you as a coach and your faith in him?
Well, had everything with him coming here because South Carolina players belonged to Birmingham, and they had a kicker, so they freed him up. I think we traded one of our allocated players for Elliot, and he kicked well in the tryout here, and he's 5 for 5. So I've seen him kick in games at South Carolina. He's the all-time leading scorer in school history up there. He got a tryout for the NFL. He told me he made every kick during the tryout, but they didn't keep him. They kept somebody else. So that's what the Alliance is all about. It's an opportunity for these players that maybe got bypassed a little bit for whatever reason, who knows, and for the NFL guys to see them in real action and real competitive fire. And Elliot, he's better in games than he is in practice. And that's what, as coaches, you got to learn about guys. Are they better in games than they are in practice? And he's one of those guys.
The running game had some trouble in the first half, but things opened up in the fourth quarter, especially when Dearness Johnson got the ball. Does his success mean he might get some more carries?
Yeah, I certainly think Dearness needs to carry the ball more. We've sort of been rotating those backs, and but Dearness made some yards there at the end of the game, and I think he needs a little bit better opportunity. But I don't know if we were calling the wrong run plays. We thought that zone read play would have a chance, but we could barely get back to the line of scrimmage on that. And then at the end of the game there, we just had the old I formation toss sweep and the old blast play up the middle that ran out the clock, those two plays. So maybe we need to do a little bit more of that and throw off of that. But I like the mix that we're doing right now as far as the quarterback under center half the time and in the gun half the time. I think that's what we can do well, and Garrett does both very well.
Kevin Anderson came in and ran a little wildcat play. Is that something we made?
Yeah, we had him scheduled to run that little sweep. I think he dove up in there for 4 yards. At the time, that was pretty good, gaining 4 yards. We weren't making anything much. But yeah, every now and then, Garrett will get relief and maybe put Kevin or Appleby in there. Austin is a good runner also, so both of them are very capable.
Coach, for any fans that haven't had an opportunity to come out to a game personally, what can they anticipate for the rest of the season, I guess?
I don't know what they can anticipate. I know that we'll try our best to improve as the season goes, and hopefully we can do that. But football is a funny sport. You can't predict it, and that's why there's so many, sometimes big upsets. The team that's the best prepared mentally, physically, and all that, and makes the plays. I mean, we won that game yesterday because we had a defensive score again. 2 weeks in a row we've had a defensive score. And we hit some big plays, but we messed up a bunch too. So we're not sitting around patting ourselves on the back that we're any kind of super team right now. I think we have a chance to be a good team, but we got a lot of areas that we can get much better.
Thank you.
All right, man.